Well, loyalty between businesses and customers may be fading, but Rachel has proof that it still exists. Here's tonight's newsmaker.
No, I just love it. I just love it.
Ron and Linda Petronas have a brand new kitchen thanks to a local business. They didn't win it, they were gifted it because they were the Top Shop's first customers 25 years ago.
When my wife got the call, what's the catch? You know, people just don't call you up and say, oh, you know, we're going to give you this countertop. And you're thinking, why? So I know David was thinking the same thing. He was trying to figure out a way of how do I come across and tell these people that I'm giving them this countertop because we were their first customers.
I didn't believe it. Yeah, I mean, you don't get anything for nothing.
25 years ago, the Petronases needed a new countertop and took a chance on a brand new business.
At that point, David had just started up their company. And we feel that since it's in East London, we kind of like to support any companies that are in our area. So I can't remember whether we got an ad or a flyer or something, but we called him up and he came out and put it in.
And owner David Dean remembers them well.
I remember when we opened the showroom, we had an open house that day, and I'm sure it was a flyer thing that we had out or maybe something over the radio. And I remember they came in and we had a lot of people that day, and at the end of that whole first day, we had one sale. And we thought, oh boy, this is a sign of what business is really like. We got problems, one sale. And it was a countertop, a laminate countertop, an L shape if I remember correctly.
And although this isn't the house the Petronases lived in 25 years ago, that didn't matter when they were getting their brand new kitchen.
They gave us the countertop, the sink, and the taps. We added from Rona, from the the cabinets, and we got a new dishwasher and a microwave.
We were planning on renovating it. This just kind of rushed it up a little bit. The cupboards we think were the originals from the 60s, 65 or something when this house was built. So we were planning on getting new cupboards, and like I said, this just was the icing on the cake.
I think none of us say thank you enough. And my wife was the one that actually said, David, do you remember the first customer? And then as soon as she said that, I said, absolutely. Because I remember we bought a bottle of champagne for them at the end of our first year in business. And so then all these years later, when we're celebrating our 25th, I'm pretty excited. Maggie said, you know, David, do you remember the Petronas? Yeah, let's do something for them. Let's say thanks again.
While Linda says she's not big on cooking, she does have a project to complete in her new kitchen.
I have been told that rolling out a pastry on the granite, there's nothing like it. So he's waiting for an apple pie. So.
The Petronases say they're happy to have been the first customers of such a generous company.
Like I say, it was a real surprise. You know, you're not expecting this kind of a gift or acknowledgement. You know, you may get a dinner or something like that, but a countertop like this is just unbelievable.
It's unheard of now. I mean, you just don't get something for nothing, and it was like a too good to be true story that was true.
That's really just an interesting story about doing business and how you remember your customer and your customer remembers you, and that's how you build loyalty.
Right, and how you're treating your customers. And of course, they were so happy to get a brand new kitchen. They added the cupboards themselves and kind of thought, well, if we're going to get new countertops, we might as well go all out. So it was a good excuse to redo the whole kitchen. But of course, getting new countertops and granite, I mean, these were top of the line. They were pretty nice.
Yeah,
so.
we couldn't go with granite.
No, I couldn't either.
But it is interesting because back 25 years ago they took a chance on this company.
They did,
and now the
yeah.
company's sort of saying we didn't forget that.
Well, and you know, they said the first day that they opened, they had this open house. They had one sale, which was this couple, you know, the Petronases, and they thought, oh, I hope business picks up after this. So 25 years later, they're still in business. And, you know, back then they only had laminate countertops. Now they've got the granite. So they've really grown, and they're paying back their customers. And they're also doing some fundraising this year, or donating to the Children's Health Foundation as well, because it's their 25th anniversary too. So that's kind of nice as well.
Well, it's good. And I guess that's the one advantage that the companies have over the big boxes, is that it's unlikely that the big box would come to your place 25 years later and say, how would you like a new countertop?
Well, yeah, and the Patronuses said, you know, this is why we went there 25 years ago, because they're a local company. They're in the East End. They live in the East End. They wanted to support companies, especially in their particular area of the city. So it worked in their favor, I guess.
Okay. Thanks very much, Rachel. Time to check our 3-day forecast now, which is courtesy of Prudential.